Hey everyone, my name is Marcin Jóźwiak and I am a Senior Instructional Designer at the NATO Defense Education Enhancement Program e-Academy. I am extremely happy to be a presenter at iFEST 2021 and I hope you will enjoy my presentation. Let's start off by explaining what the DEEP program is, quoting the official NATO website. A vehicle for reform, providing tailored practical support to individual countries in developing and reforming their professional military education institutions. Currently, the program hosts 16 partner nations, and there are many education activities taking place in the field of counterterrorism, e-learning, cybersecurity, leadership, and many more. The outbreak of the virus has fundamentally changed the way we provide education worldwide. The situation has unveiled the importance of establishing proper channels of remote learning when in-person instruction is simply not possible. Having in mind the events of the past year and observing the rapid technological changes that we face every day, we believe that there is a real need for educators and institutions to become digitally dexterous. What does it mean? For educators, it means to be independent and able to welcome any existing or emerging technology to achieve better educational outcomes. For institutions, however, it means to be agile and adaptable towards any technological changes. The NATO DEEP e-Academy is here to answer the various needs of our partner countries in the area of advanced distributed learning. Looking back at our initial response to the still current crisis, I would like to highlight the introduction of the NATO DEEP video conferencing portal based on Big Blue Button. This move, back in April 2020, allowed us to have a platform for all of our events and initiatives. Together with the NATO DEEP ADL portal, our learning management system, it forms the ground for everything that we can currently offer. In this video presentation, I am going to speak about 3 training initiatives that I have been personally involved in over the past year. For all of them, the audience is determined to be any NATO DEEP country member or a member of a partner institution that expresses interest. The overarching objective of our training initiatives in general is to bridge the E-gap, so technical and methodological considerations for advanced distributed learning capacity building. Let's start with the first one on the list, running effective virtual meetings, operational since May 2020. For many academic teachers and students, the pandemic was the first real situation that involved online synchronous teaching at such scale. At the NATO DEEP Academy, we thought that navigating this rapidly changing environment of video conferencing tools is something that we can certainly help with. Hence the offering of this hands-on 3-day e-course. We are always focused on quality. That's why the tutoring team consists of 3 tutors and there are only 3 participants to maximize interactivity and individualization of the training process. The main objective of this training is for the attendees to run their own synchronous interactive training session, lasting around 30 minutes, using Big Blue Button of course. In order to be prepared for this task, we offer 3 meetings that are named Learn, Ask, and Share. This way, the participants are familiarized with the tools used in online synchronous instruction that involve use cases and examples. Have a one-on-one conversation with a tutor, and as the last point, practice in a friendly environment that is open to feedback. In addition to the synchronous part of the e-course, there are video tutorials on the technical use of Big Blue Button available, which makes it a blended learning experience with more focus on the synchronous part obviously. There are a couple of observations that we have made over the past year that I would like to mention here. Starting with time. Working inside many time zones is not an easy task. So in order to make the experience as smooth as possible, there are a couple of solutions that we have used regarding time management and planning. The meetings should begin at the same time each day of training. There should be an email reminder sent 1 hour before the session to happen. In general, the email communication should be as concise as possible. Really, when you write one, then rewrite it to be shorter and in this way, bring the essence. In order to remain operational under any circumstances, we believe that in a perfect scenario, synchronous teaching should be done in teacher tandems. It is just more natural and interesting for the learners to listen to two different voices. If there are any technological problems, you can still run the class alone. Working inside a small 2-people team helps quite a lot with procrastination, and in general, I feel that I am better motivated to challenge myself when I have another person's view to rely on. Individualization and quality of the training program is even more important in an online setting. That's why it is a good practice in our community to have small group Q&A, either breakout rooms or separate sessions. It just helps to understand the various needs that people in many positions might have. The way forward for this e-course involves 2 areas. It's offered to the interested institutions on demand basis, and we are working on providing tutorial support for the community on the changes introduced to the software and all of the topics around that. Microlearning with H5P approaches the e-gap in a slightly different perspective. H5P is an open source tool that offers many opportunities to develop micro interactions using different content types. The idea to run H5P training sessions sparked in July 2020 and stayed in the development phase until our first pilot in February 2021. The main objective of this e-course is for the attendees to implement microlearning methodology into an e-learning module developed in H5P. Over the course of 2 weeks, we host 4 meetings that are named Introduction, Learn, Ask, and Share. Each time we host 8 participants. Similar approach as in running effective virtual meetings, but the structure is one of the few similarities. The e-course, however, similar in the format, puts much more emphasis on the asynchronous tasks. The tasks are grouped in 2 phases. The first one, pre-training, focuses on basic information about microlearning methodology and H5P. And the second one, training, meant to help the attendees with the final task of the e-course. In terms of the most important lessons learned, we found out that we can reach out to our partners for their expertise and experts while offering training. In this case, the experience of using H5P in the National Defense University of Ukraine was crucial to create the course content. Last but not least, let's discuss postgraduate studies, e-teacher and e-instructor within a new learning environment caused by COVID-19. This is our attempt at a long-term training program, and it's an effect of cooperation on the high level between NATO DEEP and European Security Defense College. The postgraduate studies are hosted by a Polish entity, University of Warmia and Mazury in Olsztyn. 25 students from 16 countries were nominated to join the program back in October 2020, and at the moment I am preparing this video, we are planning the closing ceremony after 10 months and 260 academic hours. As one of the practical aspects of this program, we believe that outside of, let's say, regular learning objectives, we would like to create something more. Something that is going to help us grow as a community of e-learning practitioners. Our subjects are built around connection and cooperation in mind. The people you see on the student list can this way build meaningful working relationships, which may result in better cooperation on the country level and more e-learning projects. Also, the participants get to know the expert network of NATO e-learning by frequent Q&A sessions with people crucial to the whole community. As far as the lessons learned are concerned, something that has worked very well is tutor feedback. It is crucial to ask tutors for the lessons learned in the paper format, since then it's easier to create a knowledge base for other tutors, so they will see what has proven to be most or least effective in the past subjects. To show off a bit, I would like to also highlight that this initiative was mentioned as one of the key achievements of the NATO Defense Education Enhancement Program in 2020 inside the Secretary General Annual Report. This Postgraduate Studies program will now change its name and format to become e-Instructor Certification Program. I am sure you will hear quite a lot about it in the upcoming months. Looking into the future, there are many possibilities and challenges we are going to face as a community. We will continue to support partner nations by various workshops on the fundamentals, but also expect us to dive into more advanced topics. AR, VR, AI, sky is the limit. Thanks everyone for listening. Should you have any feedback or questions, feel free to contact me. You can simply use the email that is visible at the bottom of the screen.